Hello, everyone. My name is Harmon. I'm a financial coach on Harmon Financial Coaching to help my clients with budgeting, saving money, paying off debt, building wealth, and just increasing their financial literacy as a whole. I'm super passionate about personal finance. So, if this is your first time on this channel, like I said, I'm a financial coach. Look at me like a personal trainer for your money. I get your money in shape. Alright, so real quick, if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you watch this video, you enjoy my content, definitely subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. It's hard out here for us small YouTubers, but that's enough about all that. Let's get into the topic. I want to talk real quick today about the victimhood mentality. Now, in case you don't know what the victimhood mentality is, it's never their fault. It's always someone else's fault. So you may ask, how does that relate to building wealth? Well, if you read Everyday Millionaire by Chris Hogan, you will find that they interviewed over 10,000 millionaires in America, and you will find like 95, 97% of them all said the same thing, which means it's conclusive. That means it's nothing else to talk about at this point. They all feel that, life happens, but it's more about what you do afterwards. So, like, you ever heard someone say life is 10% of what happens and 90% of what you do afterwards. So how are you going to respond to it? So the victimhood mentality places the blame on everyone but yourself. Okay? So what does that have to do with your money? If you have a victimhood mentality, show me a person who thinks they're a victim, and I'll show you a person who is not building wealth. I'll show you a person who is not a millionaire. If you really want to build wealth, you have to have this thing called accountability. I know it's almost like a dirty word now in today's society because people don't want to be accountable anymore. I'm not sure why. I do know why, but that's another topic for another day. So you got to be accountable for your actions, right? So here's the thing. When you have the victimhood mentality, what happens is when you start to do things and things don't go your way, instead of saying, hey, how can I do this better? What did I do wrong? Who do I need to reach out to? Maybe I need to get a mentor, which you do. A wise man once told me, everybody should have a mentor and everybody should have a mentee. We should always be learning up, and we should always be teaching down. And even when you're a even when you're a mentor, you're teaching someone, you're learning as well, because the best way to learn something is to teach it. So yeah, maybe you need a mentor, whatever the case may be, but you got to take accountability for your actions. You're not falling short because you're from the other side of the tracks, or you didn't have your dad, or I was on free lunch, or those kids didn't like me and I've always been an outsider. None of that matters. One of the most valuable lessons I've learned thus far in my financial journey, anybody can win with money. Anybody. Anybody. You just have to find the right recipe, the right system, in other words. Building wealth is not a secret. There's no secret of the rich. None of that. None of that. It's a system. People say it's a secret, they're lying to you. It's a system. You have to find out what system works. So, if you're going to bake a cake, I don't know what type of cake you would like to make, but you're going to need some eggs. You're going to need some sugar. You're going to need, some type of mixing tools. You're going to need the basics. And someone could walk in the kitchen and say, he's making a cake, right? But what if you said, I'm gonna have some tomato paste and some noodles and some tomato sauce, and I'm cutting up some garlic and also some onions and some green peppers. Automatically you're probably thinking of spaghetti, right? But what if they looked at you with a straight face and said, no, I'm making a birthday cake? You would say, what? How is that possible, right? Because they don't have the right ingredients. The ingredients for building wealth, one of the key ingredients is being accountable. And what happens is you make a mistake, you fall off the horse, you get back up, and you dust yourself off. If you're going to build wealth, you cannot blame others. You have to take accountability for your actions. Are you investing enough? Are you having a discipline to say no to credit cards? Are you eating out too much? Are you living beyond your means or below your means? Preferably living below your means, because that's another characteristic of millionaires. So you got to have that millionaire mindset. So I have a millionaire mindset. When I spend money, I think about how do I really need this? I ask myself that. Do I really need this? Can I buy it twice? Can I wait for another month? So I'm very accountable and intentional about my actions, which is why I'm able to win with my money. So I identified a problem. Now I'm going to give you a solution. If you have the victimhood mentality, I want you to do this exercise. I want you to write down the last 2 or 3 things in your life that went wrong, right? So let's say, this is extreme, but let's say you were kicked off of kicked out of a leadership group, or you got kicked out of school, whatever, even a relationship. It doesn't matter. It can be why you broke up with your girlfriend after 3 years, or why you guys never got married, or why didn't you pull the trigger on that investment. Why didn't you listen to your uncle who has more money than you, and he said, hey, I think you should consider investing into the S&P 500, and now you look up and you're mad and you're sick to your stomach because you realize you missed out on a lot of money. Whatever it is, 2 or 3 things that you wish they could have went differently, right? And write it down and say where you went wrong. I don't want to hear about anyone else. I don't want to hear about no one else. Don't tell me that a squirrel ran across the street in Montana, a duck crossed the street in Oregon, and then the river still flows in Missouri, and it was a thunderstorm in South Carolina, and that's why it didn't happen. I don't want to hear about none of that. I'm focused. I wanted you to focus on you. I'm talking to you right now. Accountability. I'm a financial coach. What do? I hold my clients accountable. I help them, I teach them, I encourage them, but they got to be accountable. If you work with me, I'm going to give you homework. You're going to have to do things before we meet again. So, just to recap, write down 2 or 3 situations where they went wrong. Not opinion based, just for a fact they went wrong. If you were to tell someone that same story and be honest about it, they would all say the same thing, like, yeah, that definitely went wrong. That should have ended this way. That didn't go so well. Write those 2 or 3 things down and write down where you went wrong and say it out loud. Write it down and say it out loud. And so you got to get comfortable in using that accountability muscle and get comfortable doing that, saying where you went wrong. And what will happen is it will be a trickle down effect, and you will start to take accountability for your actions. It won't be so hard, because guess what? I want everybody to win with their money, but I'm afraid that if you have that victimhood mentality, they're holding me back. It's the system's fault. The man has his foot on my neck. It's because I live in Podok, Alabama. You're right. I've been to the deep south. Well, if you live in Biloxi, Mississippi, you might need to relocate to Atlanta. You might need to relocate to Memphis. You might need to move to Houston, the Dallas area, wherever, right? So you need to do those things, but guess what? That all comes back to, say it with me, accountability, responsibility, responsible for your own actions. I want everybody to build wealth, and I'm going to teach you, but it has to start with that accountability, which is why my slogan at my business is change your mindset, grow your money. Your mindset has to change. You have to have a mindset shift in order to build wealth. All right? So that is my time. Take care. God bless. And do the exercise. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know how it was at the time of filming this. It doesn't matter if it's a year after the time that I posted. I would love to hear about this exercise on where you went wrong and no one else, and see how that will help you grow. And saying it out, writing it down and saying it out loud is going to help you. So let's go out there, build some wealth, be accountable for your actions. You're not a victim. And if you don't get anything else from this, you are not a victim. You're a victor. All right? leadership. You got to lead. Leaders find a way to win. Losers find a way to lose. All right? Victims are always blaming others. You're a winner. I believe in you. All right? So let's get out there and build some wealth. Take care. God bless. Change your mindset. Grow your money.